Assalamualaikum. This is the topic undue influence under the section 16. So, in previous video, we learned about the consent and free consent, and there is no free consent if the consent has been obtained by caution and the influence misrepresentation mistake. So, what is actually undue influence under the section 16? We will discuss briefly in this video, and what are the effects of undue influence if such substance has been exist in any contract. Okay, so a contract is said to be induced by undue influence where the relation subsisting between the parties are such that one of the parties is in a position to dominate the will of the other and uses that position to obtain unfair advantage over the other. Okay, so actually there are two party and one party is actually in the dominant position if compared to the other party. uh, what are actually the dominant positions? Okay, the let's suppose there's a father and son, guardian and a ward, employer and an employee. We can also say trustee and beneficiary, and yes, teacher and student as well, doctor and patient, solicitor and client, fans and fancy. So there are many examples. So these are some of the examples where actually father has a dominant power, uh, or there is an undue influence on his son, employer on employee, teacher on a student, doctor on a patient, fancy on a fancy. This is according to the business law. So if there is such dominancy, you can available in any contract, and it has been misused by the dominant party against the innocent party, then the phenomenon is actually called the undue influence under the section 16. So what should be the nature of relationship here defined as a person is in a position to dominate the will of another, where he holds a real or apparent authority over the other, that is parent and child. Okay, there, these three characteristics should be available, then we can call it as an undue influence, otherwise not. Okay, the first one is there should be a real or apparent authority over the other. For example, parent and child. Parents have a real authority over their kids. Employer have an real and apparent authority over the employer and teacher on their students as well. It stands in a fiduciary relationship to the other, that is already indebted. Like students are required to get their grades from the teacher while the undue influence has been exercised, or employee has to get their salary. There will be an issue in the future that they may lose their job if they will not work for the employer. So there should be a fiduciary relationship to the other. The third one is a makes a contract with person whose mental capacity is temporarily or permanently affected by reason of age, illness, or mental or bodily distress. Example, medical attendant and patient. Okay, so the third one is that there maybe the mental capacity, the you can say the not inappropriate mental capacity has been used in order to get that person into the contract. Okay, so maybe he's not a rational mind person as well, he may be not a sound mind, but it has been misused because the other person has knew it, like a doctor. Okay, doctor knows the patient very well. So these three are the points which exist as a nature of relationship under the undue influence contract, sorry, undue influence under the section 16. So what will happen if undue influence has been exercised? So a contract becomes voidable. Okay, voidable at the option of the party whose consent was so caused. The burden of proof is on the party who was in position to dominate the will of the other party, not all cases. Section 19. It means if someone has exercised undue influence on the other party, then the contract is voidable. Uh, in for the innocent party. So if they will perform and if they give affirmation, then it will be a valid contract. But if they will not perform, then there may be a it will be concluded as a void contract. But after performance, they may sue them and in the court, they may prove that on that time it was compulsory to give performance because he was in a pressure, but now he want a compensation that maybe court will give jurisdiction for the benefit of the innocent party. But if they avoid that contract and initially, then it will be concluded as a void contract before performance. So this is all about the undue influence section 16. Thank you so much.